Alright, hi everyone, and today we're going to talk about what kind of ex are you? Now, I think that we can all relate to one of these type of exes, but sometimes you may be able to relate to a few of them. So this blog was written by Jaleesa, and the link is going to be in the description below so that you guys can check out the actual blog and read it in its entirety, comment, give your feedback. But we're going to get into kind of how she came up with the idea and in the details of what are the 4 types of exes there are and which one are you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaleesa, and yes, I did create this blog, the What Kind of Ex Are You? And pretty much I came up with the idea when I was watching Insecure. So, this was like a couple episodes ago, but pretty much, of course, well, I don't want to spoil it, but Issa and Lawrence aren't together. So I was, basically paying attention to, now that they aren't together, how Issa acted and then how Lawrence acted. So then I was thinking of myself, it's like, well, when I'm not talking to someone anymore or we break up, how do I usually react? So then I was thinking like, well, I usually react like this, but I have a friend and she'd be doing this. So then it just kind of got me thinking like, well, maybe that's a blog that I could, or a post that I could write about. So yeah, and I feel like this is something that everyone can relate to, because whether it's a spouse or an old friend or even an employer, we all have an ex something. So that's where this idea came from. So you pretty much have 4 types of exes that I came up with, and you have the emotional roller coaster ex, you have the Twilight Zone ex, the blurred lines ex, and then the Day that crazy girl outside again ex. And if you've ever seen Next Friday, that's where I got that from. So the first one is the emotional roller coaster ex. And pretty much, have I been through this? I wouldn't say I've been through this, but I've definitely seen people, or I have friends who have been through this. So this is basically the ex where, on Monday they're good, and then on Wednesday you guys are at it. You know what I'm saying? In the article, in the blog post, I said this is the person who, like, they're congratulating you on your new job, but then the next day they're telling you they hope you get ran over by a bus on your way to that new job. So they're just really up and down, you know what I mean? So with this one, so basically what I did was I would have an ex, and then I would say the best way to deal with that ex. So the advice I gave with this one was to be very transparent and hope that they understand. They're pretty much confused about, what you guys are doing. And this is really relevant because I feel like in relationships, you think with your brain because you're smart, but once you get so into it, you're thinking with your heart, you know what I mean? So, and usually your heart and your brain aren't on the same page, your brain can see, okay, this doesn't make sense, something isn't adding up, but because you're oh so in love, your brain isn't listening to your heart. So yes, the best way with this one is to be just very transparent about what you guys are doing. If you guys are broken up, sticking with that and letting them know that, this isn't that, like we can't do X, Y, and Z because we aren't together. But I did mention that could be a very awkward conversation to have. Somebody might cry, somebody might pout or get mad or whatever, but if you don't want to be in a situation where it's just very up and down like a roller coaster, then that conversation is necessary.
And I think that probably happens a lot when people one of the people want to still get back with their ex.
Yeah,
they want it to be a temporary breakup, and the other person does not.
Yeah, no, that's so true, especially when they still want to be back together. So the next one is the Twilight ex, and I came up with this ex first because it's me. So pretty much, if I'm done with someone or we break up or whatever the case may be, they just not gonna hear from me. Unfortunately, I'm a blocker. I block people from anything I can think of, any way for them to get in contact with me. So, like the last relationship I was in, when we were about to break up, I let him know, like, okay, now I'm telling you, if this is what we gonna do, be for real about it. He was, we decided, like, okay, we're gonna be done. And he couldn't get in contact with me. You know what I'm saying? He ended up having to email me. Then I realized I gotta block people on email too. But yeah, so it's basically like, okay, well, you're never gonna hear from me again. But I was saying in the article, because it's kind of like the best way to deal with this person, the best way to deal with me, when I'm mad, just let me be mad, you know what I mean? Just let me get out I'm not necessarily even get out my frustrations, but let me have my space, let me be upset, and then eventually we might be able to be okay again. Because, you know, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not going to be super up and down with you. You're just not going to hear from me, so you're not going to know how I'm feeling. But it's best if you give me my space, and then maybe in a couple months, or maybe, no, months, not weeks. Maybe in a couple months, you know, maybe I'll randomly like a picture, or, you know, I'll follow you back on Snapchat from blocking you, whatever the case may be. Once I make that stride, then you'll see, okay, she's over it, and maybe we can be good. So, which out of, didn't you say you were this?
Yes, that is me completely. Mostly because I care more not about what you think about me or hurting your feelings, but I care about people think about me, especially on the interwebs. So for me, you're not gonna catch me making all these crazy statuses or all that. Even though I may want to, I'm gonna just hold it in, call a girlfriend. That's what girlfriends are for. They are our psychotherapists. So that's not gonna be me. But I think that blocking is the best way. But I also kind of don't really feel that you should be friends with your exes, because the ultimate goal is to find a husband. And so if you're not him, you need to move around and let me find my man. So I am a definite Twilight.
Oh, another reason why I like I don't want to say like blocking people, but I feel like it's effective is because before I got into the whole I'm just gonna block you, I used to kind of like pay attention to my phone to see if I got a text from the person. So say we're like into it, and we said we're done talking, I'm kind of like paying attention to my phone, like did he text me, you know, or I'm like looking like did he look at my Snapchat story, you know what I'm saying? But if I block them, then it's like I don't have to wonder if they looked at it or not because they blocked. So I guess that's just like an easier way for me to deal with like the reality of things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about becoming a social media stalker, which is so easy. Like you can jump down that rabbit hole. 3 hours have passed, and now you're looking kind of like how Lawrence was when he found what's that guy's name? Daniel. When he found Daniel on Issa's Facebook, and now he has this whole rabbit hole. See, if he had just blocked her, he wouldn't have had any of this.
Exactly, that's true. Because usually when you go looking for something, you find it and it's not anything you want to see. So it just makes you feel like I shouldn't even look anyway. If you block them, then you know, can't see it.
Yeah.
So next we have the blurred lines X, and pretty much this is the X that does not know their place. You guys are not together anymore, but they just are still doing things that are technically inappropriate if you guys aren't in a relationship, and especially if you're in a relationship with someone else. I gave the example of still posting on your mother's Facebook wall or occasionally hanging out with your friends. So when it comes to this ex, I pretty much think, what I said exactly was, you know, actions speak louder than words. To say, you know, you told them that you guys aren't together anymore and you're going to do your own thing, but you guys are still cool, but they still feel the need to hang out with what they think is mutual friends, but it's really your friends that, you know, they introduced you, or writing on your mother's wall or anything like that. You basically have to show them, like, you know, we can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? We aren't together. But at the same time, you know, I say actions speak louder than words, and not just say it, because you have to keep your end of the bargain too. If you guys aren't together anymore, then don't invite them to your house all late. You know, don't send misleading text messages, because the lines are blurred because of both of you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you made the message very clear that you guys are just cool, then this person would know, okay, we just cool. I can't be hanging out with his friends. That's gonna be awkward. Or I know that I can't post on his mom's Facebook page because we just cool. But if you know, hitting him up late at night and sending little flirty messages, what do you expect? It's like, it's not clear. So the lines are going to be blurred, and you guys aren't going to be able to be just cool. And honestly, the person that's more confused might end up resenting you because you weren't clear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it can just get a little sticky.
Yeah.
And the last X is the dating that crazy girl outside again X. And I thought of this one because I know a couple of crazy exes. I mean, they're really nice people, but you know, when they are upset with their ex or current, not to be ex, whatever, they just do not play any games. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all know a crazy ex, but you know, it could just get really bad, from the messing up cars to popping up at houses, fighting girls or guys. It can just get really, 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 really sticky. And another reason why this is because the advice I give was basically y'all need to stop talking, cut off all communication, It's because, it would just suck if you got yourself in a situation where you did something crazy, ended up in jail, or had to get the police called on you, and those things follow you. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to get a job or whatever the case may be, and you get into this type of situation because you can't control your emotions with your ex, then you might want to stop talking to that person because you just never know what could happen. But I did say, you guys, maybe in a couple of years, once emotions aren't so high and things aren't so intense, you could eventually become friends. But if that's you all's situation right now, I would just take an extended break because, once the police and all that get involved, it's just becoming too much, very toxic. And a relationship is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be, dangerous. So that's how I came up with that ex. But I'm not a crazy ex.
Right. That is funny. So which kind of ex are you? I think that for me, I probably am, for the most part, I am a Twilight, but sometimes it could be a blurred line, especially if I don't really know what I want, if I'm still thinking about you or not, and vice versa. Maybe not the most healthy, but I'm being honest. But I think that there is a little bit of something in everyone that we touched in. Go ahead.
If I had to, because if I picked two, so I would say I'm Twilight Zone first, then I would say emotional roller coaster ex, only because I'm the type of person where I'll be like, so say we get into it, and I forgive you, and then a week later, say we're cool, I remember I heard this on TV. This lady was like, yeah, my husband, he cheated on me, and we got past it, but one day I was just laying in bed and he was asleep, and I just wanted to put the pillow over his face. I just got mad out of nowhere. And that's kind of me sometimes. Like, depending on the situation, I can be over it, I can forgive you, but if one day I have a glimpse of it, or I, see something that reminds me of it, I'm gonna get an attitude, and you're not gonna know why, and then you're gonna be like, she crazy. Like, why is she so emotional? Why is she on this emotional roller coaster? So that's definitely my second one, because, if something triggers me, then yeah, I probably will get it.
Especially those triggers. A lot of times women, we forgive because we are the bigger persons when we move over it, but we not over it. We just care about you more than the situation. So
I have a question. Do you think that you can really ever get over something, or do you just put it in the back of your head?
I think that you can get over something if you see growth, but I think that it just depends on the level. Like getting over like cheating, like the Kevin Hart situation that's relevant right now. Like, wife is pregnant, you didn't even make it a whole year in marriage and you're cheating. That's one thing versus like, you really hurt my feelings when you called me this, that, and the other, or you started yelling at me in front of my parents. Like, that's something that you can kind of get over. You just have misplaced emotions versus you are embarrassing me for the world to see. So, I don't know. I think that everybody has their breaking points, and I think when people go over their breaking points and then still try to make it work, that's when we have those things that are still triggered. So, fellas, be careful. Every woman has her breaking points, and you don't want to keep apologizing for the same thing year after year. So, be careful before you step out.
Sure. It also makes me think of, Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. So, they were together, and then they went on a break, and he got a girl pregnant.
That wasn't no break.
Right.
But
it was
okay.
a break anyway. But, and he got a woman pregnant. But they were able to work it out.
Even though you never see that baby in any of the family photos, so
never.
I'm confused. But whatever.
Yeah, you never see. I don't even know what the baby looks like. But, I remember I used to watch Basketball Wives like the last season, and the baby's mom.
Yeah.
But of course, she couldn't say Dwayne's name.
Yeah, but we knew.
Right, exactly. But with things like that, I mean, that's just a big pill to swallow. That's a really big pill.
That's the one that keeps on going. Like, one thing that cheat on me, another thing is I gotta change your indiscretions diapers and stuff. Like, that's a big forgive.
Do you think you'd be able to forgive her?
I don't know. See, it's so much different when you go into a relationship with a man with children versus he has a child on you. Like the game. Like, he didn't really have to, like, he would have acted right before, then it just was them and her. But then he had to do all this foolishness. They break up. He had a baby. Now they're back together. Now they're married, but she still has to deal with it. Just like if you would have just acted right the first time and just trusted me, it would have been fine. So, I don't know. I just hope that I'm never in that situation. I personally don't even like to date men with kids right now, so I don't even know what I would do if I got to a situation where it was like I'm already in it. So let's just knock on everything that that's not gonna happen. But it takes a lot because it's not the child's fault, and so a child deserves both parents. So what are you gonna do? You can't be mean to the child. That's even more wrong. So
yeah, that's just me.
I don't know.
Yeah. But that was about it, the 4 X's. If you guys can think of any other X's that I didn't mention, leave them in the comments so we can have a conversation about it.
Yes. So leave them in the comments, like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later. Bye.